Greetings, all. Well, after a fun week with COVID, we're back. Ask almost any Christian where Jesus was from, and they'll say Nazareth, perhaps adding that this was a town in Galilee. And it's true, Jesus was raised in Nazareth. But Jesus' adult home was in Capernaum, another Galilean town. But unlike Nazareth, which lies inland, Capernaum is a fishing village on the Sea of Galilee. In today's gospel, Matthew goes to some pains to explain that Jesus relocated to Capernaum by the sea. Now, what if we attributed some intentionality to Jesus for this move? Capernaum was about 3 times the size of Nazareth, and more importantly, it was a place of commerce. People didn't fish there for mere subsistence to feed themselves. Rather, it was a commercial fishing village and lake where the fish are caught, dried, and sold in bulk for cash. And that in turn meant taxes were paid to the Romans, who missed no opportunity to tax a gainful trade. Now, Matthew makes clear that Jesus called commercial fishers as his first 4 disciples. Indeed, Jesus calls them while they're at work. Simon and Andrew are casting a net into the sea, and James and John are on shore mending their nets, all in Matthew chapter 4. And Jesus utters his famous remark, I will make you fishers of men, Mark 4:19b. Now, I'd like to think that all this emphasis on fishing was more than merely symbolic. Yes, the disciples would end up catching men and women for Christ. But what is it about being a commercial fisher that especially suited these 4 to the call? I'm no fisherman, asked my late dad, but a few traits do come to mind. They're early rising, they work damn hard, and there's a certain savvy about it, knowing where the fish are and knowing how to work quietly so competitors don't notice. There's a lack of formal education, and there's an awareness of the burdens of Roman taxation, which could be a symbol for sort of knowing how the world worked. Now, I'm speculating here, but I can say this. In my experience, some of the better ministers I have known have shared just those kind of traits. They're worldly enough, but willing to follow Jesus anywhere. They're hardworking, but they're also good at resting when the time comes, and they are open to strangers. Why do I bring this all up? I suppose it's to help us not over spiritualize the call to discipleship. Of course, God's grace is necessary, but God first gifts us with native traits and aptitudes, and He can and He does make use of them. And I'll close with the example I know best of myself. For a living for 25 years as a lawyer, what I did primarily was speak and publish about the law. I was a trainer. Well, after I retired, what was the next natural thing to do? Take the existing speaking and writing skills God had given me and use them for the gospel. And here we have the Substack. No magic really there. It's actually quite straightforward, isn't it? And so, for me at least, the call to discipleship is very down to earth. And thank you for listening.